All right, this video I'm going to show you guys in detail about the microsquirt wiring harness, how to wire it, what each wire goes to. I'm just going to go down through the pinout here and show you guys what each wire does. 12 volt power in is pin 1, and that goes to a good 12 volt source. You don't want to jump that off of some existing wire, or you don't want to jump that off of your factory fuse blocks or nothing. You want to come, basically straight from the battery and to the computer, as direct route as you can, which is a switch 12 volt though, so it can't come directly off the battery, but from the battery to a relay to this. You won't use can H, you won't use can L, the way I did it at least. You won't use VR2 plus. Spare ADC, that's a spare input wire, so you could have a push button to trigger your launch control with that or something if you did, but you don't have to use that wire. Flex wire is the same way, it's a spare input. You can use to trigger something, like if you wanted to do table switching, or if you wanted to do nitrous control with that, where it changes to a different table. You could do a lot of different functions as a spare input. The fiddle, or fast idle wire, that's your if you're running an external tachometer, your fast idle wire is your only spare output that you can use to do stuff. I used it on my station wagon. It controls my nitrous kit, when it comes on, when it goes off. You can use it to control like torque converter lockup. You can use it to control your electric fans, any kind of thing like that. Your fuel pump wire goes to, all these outputs are switched grounds, but they cannot, like if you had that fast idle wire hooked up to turn your fan on, you can't make it the ground for your fan. You'll burn that circuit up on the computer. It can be the ground for the relay, so it can only handle like really small amp loads. It can't be the ground for your fan. It has to be the ground just for the relay, to keep the relay on. So don't hook it up as your ground. Injector 1, that does one bank of your injectors, so it fires 4 injectors. Injector 2 fires other 4 injectors, so it batch fires injectors 4, 4, 4, 4. That's how that works. Spark B and Spark A, each one of those is going to go to 2 coils. You can look in if you're ever going to do this, you need to print the microsquirt manual off or look it up and just read it online. And it'll show you, your 4 outputs that go to your coils are your Spark B, Spark A LED, and W LED. And if you buy it from EFI source, they pre-modify the inside of the microsquirt to work and do that. So you can find this online on how to wire that. Then the bootload wire, you would only need it if you're like loading the firmware on the computer, which you don't have to do if you buy it already loaded. ALED and WLED is your other 2 outputs you're going to use for coils. So it does waste spark. It fires 2 coils at a time, so it's 2, 2, 2, 2. So one's firing on the exhaust stroke, the other's firing on the intake, so it wastes that one. That's why it's called waste spark. So sensor ground, you actually only have 2 sensor ground wires coming out. I always use one of them strictly for the crank sensor, and the other one I use to go out to my coolant temperature sensor, inlet air temperature sensor, manifold air pressure sensor, and my throttle position sensor. So that's the ground source for those. VR2 negative, you're not going to use it. Your 2 heavy black wires off the microsquirt, they're going to go to the back of your cylinder head, along with the black wire and the brown wire from your coils will also go to the back of the cylinder head, all in the same spot together. That's important out here. MAP sensor wire, that obviously goes to your manifold air pressure sensor. You can find the wiring diagram on how to do that on the microsquirt manual, or just Google it. Coolant temperature sensor, that's where it goes. Manifold air temperature sensor, that's where it goes. Throttle position sensor, it goes to it. TPS V reference. Now this is a part that I had trouble with my station wagon. I had to figure this out. On a Gen 4 motor, they have a 5-volt reference for the crank sensor, and a Gen 3 has a 12-volt. So I wired it up the way, if you Google fuel and spark microsquirt LS1 Tech, it shows how Sloppy Mechanic did it with a Gen 3 motor. Well, I wired mine that way in the wagon. The thing would not run. I talked to EFI Source. They couldn't figure out what the problem was either. So I got in the microsquirt manual. This is why you need to look in the manual. So if you look, you can find this in the microsquirt manual. A 24X motor has a 12-volt reference. A 58X has a 5-volt reference. Now I've been told that Gen 4 sensor will work at either voltage level, but that was not the case for me. So on a 58X, that V reference wire is going to go out to your throttle position sensor, but it's also going to go out to your crank sensor. I think there's one more. I think also your map sensor gets a 5-volt reference. So I wired up 5-volt reference to terminal C here, going into the crank sensor. Then sensor ground is that sensor ground wire. I run that one wire straight down there. There's 2 sensor ground wires. I run one straight to this. The signal wire, what you use for that is the VR1 negative wire, which is your green wire, I believe it is, coming out. That's where that goes to. And the yellow wire and the sheathing, I cut all that back and wrap it up, heat shrink it. You only use that green wire. Now if you had a 28X or 24X motor, you would run a 12-volt power source to the crank sensor. You would do, I believe you use the, I don't know, I don't want to say. It's one of the VR wires. I've never done a Gen 3 motor, so I don't want to say. But it would be sensor ground, 12-volt power, and I'm not sure on the VR wires. You'd have to look in the microsquirt manual on that. I'm not sure, because I've never done one. So then, spare ADC, that's a spare input. So you can have a push button or a sensor or whatever hooked to that to trigger something. Then the optional plus, optional negative, that's cool inputs. You don't use them on this. I already told you, you don't use VR plus, you use VR negative for the crank sensor. O2, you're gonna use the output wire out of your wideband O2 controller. It's an analog output to that. Usually it's a white wire, hooks up to that. Your tack output, the green and yellow, if you run an external tack on your car like a gauge, that's what that goes to your green wire on your tack. Like the wagon, I wanted to have that spare output to control my transmission, so I cut it off the tack, and you can use that to control anything. So I used it to control my torque converter lockup, so I don't have a tack in the car. You can also find wiring diagrams. This is not for an LS, but it's just basic wiring. So that tells you a lot there about how to wire it. So you don't run a cam sensor. You don't have to run a cam sensor, so I don't. This is your throttle position sensor. There's 3 wires for it. Like I said, your injectors, they fire a bank at a time, so you get 12-volt power to the whole thing, and then it grounds. There's a blue and a green wire, injector 1, injector 2, injector 1, you loop all of them to this one, injector 2, you loop all this one, or either way, it doesn't matter. And it basically is a ground for these. It is the ground, okay, on this. That's the only wire it's that way, and it'll fire bam, 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 okay? Waste spark, so it's 2, 2, 2, 2. And so I've got all my wiring harness done except for the inlet air temperature because I didn't have the plug. I usually move my coolant temperature sensor from there, where they are from the factory, to the back. Makes the wiring harness a lot cleaner, and this will look a lot cleaner when I wrap it up. So anyway, there's a lot of what you need to know about the wiring on a microsquirt. If you have any more questions, you can comment and I'll respond. But these 2 power wires, one goes out to power the coils, so you run a power wire that goes out and splits out and goes to all the coils. then you run the other one, goes out and powers all the injectors together. And then the computer does the bank firing and the waste spark. So it gets all one power source, and the computer does the rest. And then I got hooked up where a fast auto wire goes in here, and it's the ground for the relay for my electric fan. I have a big heavy power wire coming from the battery straight to this fuse box, which powers all my constant power stuff. Then I have a relay that sends power from this main power source into a relay out, and this is my switch power. That's what a lot of the stuff the computer's powered to. So I have one wire coming off there, like I said. One's for coils, one's for injectors, and the other power wire, this one right here, is the power wire for the microsquirt itself. I think the microsquirt takes a 5 amp. I believe the injectors take like a 10, and the coils is like 15 or 20 amp. So anyway, hope that helps you guys. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask. I've messed with the microsquirt stuff quite a bit now, messing with my cars. So here you go.